Our today's webinar from the CTI Data Connector, the Winter Release 2022. Today's presentation will be recorded and we will share all the information and the slides as well as the recorded webinar from today in a follow-up email with everyone. Please do not hesitate if you have any questions during the webinar to type them directly into the control panel. We try to answer all your questions afterwards in a Q&A session. Okay, then we start with a quick introduction from today's speakers, and we begin with no one else than our Managing Director, Mr. Dieter Herle.
Okay, yeah, thank you, Annika. Welcome to our release webinar. I will give you an overview about the different Mirage products so that you get a better understanding what kind of CTI integrations we offer.
Yeah, thank you. And my name is Annika Seewald. Very welcome again to our webinar. It's great that you have the time to join today. I am Senior Account Executive by Mirage Computer Systems, and my area is Europe. If you come from this area, we will probably have contact, and I will give you an overview about the features from the winter release today.
Okay, welcome to everyone also, and good morning, good evening, and good day, and good day, depending where you are actually listening to us right now or watching us right now. Yeah, I'm in charge of customers in or outside Europe, I would say South and North America, and the rest of the world, meaning the APAC region also. And I'm also, like Annika, a senior account executive, and I will give you an insight into what we have cooking, which are not yet ready. So our new features coming up from our summer release. Handing over to my colleague, Simon.
Yeah. Hello and welcome from my side as well. My name is Simon Rakel. I'm a senior engineer here and the team lead of support. And I will show you some new features and how you can configure them later during our webinar today.
Thank you, Simon. Then about the agenda from today, we will start with the overview from all the products that Mirage provides with Salesforce. Then we go to the new features from the winter release, and the probably most interesting part from today's webinar, we have a live demonstration from the features and also an overview how to configure them in Salesforce. Then we have an overview about the new products which are coming soon. And we end the webinar as usual with a Q&A session. So again, if you have any questions, please type them into the control panel. We are happily answering them afterwards. Now I can hand over to Dieter. He will tell us more about the products.
Thank you, Annika. Mirage offers different CTI products. The main product, CTI Data Connector, is perhaps the product which you are already working with. Then we have a product, it's called Automatic Call Distribution, which allows you to do a call distribution based on Salesforce data. For example, when a call comes in, it can find out who is the account owner and distribute the call to the account owner, or the customer types in a case number or order number. It then checks directly in Salesforce who is handling the order and would distribute the call to that person. If you want to do audio file recording, the product Audio Link and Archive service will link an audio file recording to Salesforce. So on the account or contact level, you see there is an audio file, and depending on the permission, you can then play the recording. Then we do have multiple contact center solutions. The two main contact center solutions are one based on Microsoft Teams. Here we do have a special webinar next month where we compare two types of Microsoft Teams integration with CTI Data Connector. And the other one is based on Amazon Connect, where you do not need any SoftPhone. You just log in into Salesforce and you can directly make calls. And the last CTI product is an integration in Salesforce own Service Cloud Voice CTI integration. So here we offer the connector technology so that you can use Service Cloud Voice and your telephone system you already have in use. So the contact center suite is a bundle of 3 products and is available for some telephone systems. So the bundle includes CTI Data Connector, the call distribution, and the audio archiving. And right now it's available for Teams, for Amazon Connect, for 3CX, for Swix and PMG. And if you are interested in that bundle, you just contact our sales to get an information if your phone system would support the different feature set. Yeah, this is just an overview about the telephone systems, not all, but you see we really support a wide range of telephone systems, starting from on-premise systems like a Unify, Alcatel, Cisco, NEC, Panasonic, up to cloud systems like in Germany, Enphone, Playstyle, Zipgate, and also systems like Teams, Amazon Connect. So if you plan to switch to another telephone system, then just contact us. We could then also consult you where is the difference in different telephone systems and which different features you get when you make a selection for a specific telephone system. Yeah, then before we continue with the main presentation, we have a quick poll for you. Are you planning to change your telephone system? So if you plan in the near future to change the system to a cloud system, to Teams, then just select the option. It gives us just a bit of feedback if you want to stay with the existing system or change it. Okay, I can think we can now continue with the next slide, and Annika will now introduce the main features of the winter release.
Thank you, Dieter. So now let's go into detail about the winter release. We will start with the top features. We pick 4 of them which are really worth of mention. We start with the live agent dashboard. We extended it that it's working now with any kind of telephone system. And we have a new chart which gives you an overview about all the live calls. Then we have a replacement for the TAPI driver connection. In the past, we have connections with a local installation and a TAPI driver, as well as a direct TAPI driver installation. So we can now replace it with Mirage Mia SoftPhone. Then we have a large selection of different reports and dashboards. We already had pre-configured reports and dashboard available with CTI, but now it's really extended and perhaps also of interest. Then we have a second completely integrated Microsoft Teams integration. We are using here the cloud phone system 3CX. 3CX itself also have all the functions that a standardized contact center brings with it. Okay, then let's take a look to the live agent status dashboard. As a summary, it shows the present state of the users, also the role, the profile, the time when the present state was changed. So basically you have with one tool a complete oversight into Salesforce. What are your users doing at the moment? Then you have the option to search and sort the users. As example, you want to know about your colleagues, you can search for them with the first or the last name, or the supervisor would say he wants to know who is available at the moment, so he can search with the present state. Then we have an automatic refresh. It means you do not need to manually making a page refresh. You can just keep the dashboard open as a tab in the browser and take a look as you need. We have an automatic refresh from the dashboard of 15 seconds. And then we support any kind of telephone system, even if the telephone system do not support the change of a present state. As example, it could the CTI could recognize if you are now on an ongoing call. So the state would go from available to on a call, and then you have the possibility to also configure a specific call wrap-up time. Let's say it's 60 seconds. Then after the call, it goes automatically to busy in the wrap-up time, taking 60 seconds, and then it's going back to online or available. This is how the dashboards are looking like. Specific here, we see the overview about the users. Here I can search for the name or the last name, or maybe the profile or the role I want to know. The status from all the sales employees. So I would type in sales. And I have the overview of the start time when the status was changed. And here we are in the chart. This is completely new. It gives you an overview about the actual calls which are going on at the moment. So in this scenario, we have 13 inbound calls and 6 outbound calls. And if the telephone system supports it, you can also display which kind of queues are used at the moment. So we'd see here sales, one call for service, yeah, then you have completely an overview which queues has a specific activity. Okay, then let's go to the connection with Microsoft Teams and 3CX. First of all, and this is a feature that was a big question from our customers who wants to connect Teams, we synchronize the present state. The state is from Salesforce to Microsoft Teams. It means if I take an active call, maybe an outbound call via click to dial from Salesforce, then it automatically communicates the present state to Teams. So my colleagues also in Teams know, okay, I am not available at the moment. Then we have now a really easy setup. You just need to have a zip provider. Maybe you already have a zip provider, or you can choose a provider as you want to use. And then you have the 3CX hosting. We do not need a session border controller here anymore. So as you do not need to search for SBC and you don't need to configure it. Also, a really nice feature is that you can mix your client which you want to use for the telephony. Maybe you have in a working stage a user who say he wants to really use a handset, then it's possible here, or DECT phones, or a soft phone client on the computer itself. And last but not least, of course, all the Teams clients are supported. So the Windows-based app, or if you want to go browser-based logged in Teams, it's supported, and a mobile app. Also available is the possibility to record calls. We can archive and link these audio recordings with Salesforce. You have a permission set where you can define who can see the audio recordings or play the audio recordings. You have also the option for a call transcription. So the audio file itself would have a transcription in text. So you would link this to Salesforce. You can have a related list in an account or a contact, and then you would probably have two different links, once for the audio and once for the transcription. Okay, here we have an oversight about the technical connection. So the 3CX telephone system is connected or completely integrated with Microsoft Teams. If the call comes in, it's normally going to Teams. The voice part is going here. I can also take the call directly in Teams. And our cloud service is communicating constantly with 3CX. So if the call comes in, it goes to Teams, and the information goes also through our cloud service, and our cloud service sending the number to search in your own Salesforce org, and the logic in CTI goes running. So all the features that you configured there will open up. You can extend it with the automatic call distribution with Salesforce. So you have the routing with Salesforce Live Data and the audio link and archive service, as well as you have the possibility to extend with different clients, not only Microsoft Teams. Also, nice to mention, this connection will function as well as on Windows, as well as on Mac computers. If you would have interest to have a proof of concept with the Microsoft Teams and 3CX connection, we created a really fast POC where we provide the Microsoft Teams licenses, the phone numbers, as well as the telephone system connection. If you have any questions or direct interest for that, you can directly contact us with, via sales@mirage-systems.com, or you can call us. And we are going to the Tappy driver connection replacement, the Mirage Mia Zip SoftPhone. It's supporting any zip telephone system. It doesn't matter it's cloud or on-premise. You do not need an additional Tappy driver or a local installation like the Tappy Link connector. That's why it's an easy rollout, even if you need to go into home office. The feature set from the SoftPhone would be, as example, a floating bar, an auto answer, a conference call, Outlook or LDAP integration, and it's available directly from us. If you would have an existing connection with a Tappy Link connector, as example, you could take contact with us and we take a look. You can order the Mia Zip SoftPhone directly from us. Or if you plan a new project, you can directly contact us. It's coming from one hand. This is the technical part, how we connect the software phone. Basically, here we see the Mirage Mia software phone. It's installed on the computer. Here we have the Zip telephone system as you like to use. We are connecting our cloud service directly with the SoftPhone. So it's constantly getting the information from the incoming call. And sorry, the incoming call is going to the SoftPhone. You can take the call there, and we get as well also the information through our cloud service and display the call in the CTI. So you can choose if you also want to take the call normally in Salesforce. Needs to be mentioned that this connection is at the moment only available for Windows computer. Okay, dashboards and reports. We built a lot of different options from different dashboards. Either it's per user or global dashboard charts, as well as different report types. It's not only about calls, it can be the presence data, SMS, the call result, all call result groups. New of them, which are worth of mention, is SMS reports, call result group, and incomplete tasks. You will see more of that in the live demonstration. This is just an example, sort by user, how many SMS sent it to the webinar. We are going into the live demonstration, and I can hand over to Simon. He will give us a deep insight into the products and new features.
Okay. Thank you. So now I'm going to show you a little bit about the features we just saw and which Annika already explained a bit. So here we can directly see the live agent dashboard we heard so much about already. It was already in the last release, but with the current release, we have already added here this search bar on top and also directly the filters you can set. So for example, okay, you want to see only the ones from the last 7 days or all of the records. What's also nice here, you can directly filter by call centers. So for example, if you are using call centers, depending on the country or depending on the department, you can directly select here, okay, for example, or from the sales department or from the support department, or you can, for example, also typically often it is used for different countries. So if you have a place in different countries here or an office in different countries, you can also filter directly by the call center. For example, okay, the call center in Germany or the call center in Spain or something like this. We also already saw that it's possible here to directly sort by role. For example, here we can see, okay, the users from development or the users from sales and so on. We directly see here the presence status. So we can see here, okay, this user is on break, this one's available. And what's also new is we can directly see, okay, if a user is on a call, we can directly see, okay, is it an outgoing call, is it an incoming one, and we can directly see here as well how long has the call been going on. Also, in addition to this overview here, we have a separate tab here with the chart, where we can also directly see, okay, this refreshes automatically every 15 seconds, and we can directly see here, okay, we have an overview which present state how many of the users are. So for example, okay, there's one available, 3 are logged out, 1 is on a call. And on the right side, we have this little pie chart where we can also see, okay, how many of the calls at the moment are incoming, outgoing. And here we also saw it earlier in the screenshots in the presentation. It's also possible if your PBX supports it, then you can also see here directly, okay, how many of the users are in which queue. What's also new, or what's also something I get asked a lot during consulting or installation web meetings are there reports, are there dashboards? The CTI Data Connector always comes with predefined reports, which you can directly use as they are, or you can use them as, let's say, a template or something like this. In this case, you can always find them if you navigate to your reports in Salesforce, then to all folders. And here under Mirage Call Center Reports, you have a whole list of different reports. There are with every update or with every other update, new reports are added here. So it's always a good idea to check here after you've done an update. Are there new reports I can use? Have there been added some which I can, which are interesting for me? With the new version, for example, we have some new ones, like for example the SMS per day, which is for example a report. Okay. On which day how many SMS were sent out. So you directly have the data here in a little chart, and always also you can see here below in this little table as another overview. Okay, on which day there were how many. And what's often overlooked here in the reports is this little toggle button down here where it says detail rows, where you can see okay the tasks or the actual entries which are showing up here in the chart, for example. So here you always have the possibility to check, okay, which entries do we have if you want to check certain entries or something like this. The same goes for dashboards. So the CTI Data Connector also comes along with 2 dashboards, which are automatically created during the installation or during the update. You can also find them here under dashboards and under the folders, all folders. And here we also have a folder Mirage Dashboard Call Center Reports. So here we have 2 predefined reports, which you can either directly use or you can use them as a sort of template to customize it yourself. So if you just open one of them, you can directly see, okay, there are a lot of predefined reports or charts here, but you can also customize them to your liking. For example, if you want to say, okay, I don't want to see those total call time, it's not that interesting for me, you could always go to the edit component part here and, for example, select a different report. So here you would also navigate to all folders, Mirage Call Center reports, or to your reports you want to add. And for example, okay, we want to add the calls over 3 minutes. There we can directly and easily update this whole dashboard to your liking, and then you can just save it, or you can just save it as a new dashboard if you don't want to edit the original one. If you want to keep it as a template, for example, you could just save it as a new one. Now for the settings we have regarding the live version dashboard. You can find these in the call center setup of the CTI Data Connector. To find this call center setup, you would go to the app launcher and switch to the CTI Data Connector configuration app. In this app, you have 2 tabs. In this case, we navigate to the Mirage Call Center setups. And here we would navigate to the setup where you want to change it or where you want to activate the live agent dashboard, for example. And let's stay with the example for activating the live agent dashboard. Those settings are found here in the present state options. Important here in this case is that this activate present state is checked, that enable time tracking is checked, that the update time is checked, and that this active call change present state is checked as well. So those are the only options necessary for the live agent dashboard to work. You can also specify your present states down here, and at the end we also have this a few additional settings regarding the live agent dashboard, like for example, okay, if the user can even access it, how big or how large the refresh time is, the columns which should be displayed. So here you could, for example, also say, okay, if you say, okay, the service channel is not interesting for us, then you can also just disable it or unselect it, and it won't show up anymore. Also interesting setting in here, independent of the live agent dashboard, is the call wrap up time in seconds here. So if you are using those present states, so for example, the user just finished his call and hung up the phone again, then you can also specify a time here, how long it takes until the user switches to available or to ready for calls again. This means that after call you could specify, okay, the user still has 60 seconds or 120 seconds to finish up the notes regarding the call or something like this until he switches to available again. So this can be set up in the field here where it says call wrap-up time in seconds. Now I also have another small tip for you, because I also get asked this every now and then. We have a new setting here as well in the SoftPhone settings regarding the minimize SoftPhone in a new tab. So as SoftPhone in here, the CTI data connector is described. So the little CTI data connector you can always see in the bottom left corner. If we check the setting here, minimize SoftPhone in a new tab. So for example, if a call comes in, you take the call, then the CTI data connector opens the data record it found. So for example, the contact or the account or the last opportunity in a new tab. And if you say, okay, the CTI data connector or the SoftPhone in this case should be minimized in a new tab, then the tab loads a bit faster, and usually the user already knows who's calling, and then they can directly check all the settings in or all the data in the record which has opened. Okay, so much for the settings in Salesforce and demonstration in Salesforce. Next, I would like to show you the MIA SoftPhone my Annika has already mentioned. So let me just switch the screen here. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, Simon, I think the screen is lost.
Yep. Sorry. So now I should be sharing the screen again. Perfect.
Yes.
So here you can already see the Mirage Mia phone. You can see it on the right side. It's only this little bar here on the right. So it's also possible to it's also even possible to set it up so this little bar is also hidden while you're not on a call, for example. The Mia SoftPhone should be a replacement for the traditional TAPI drivers. This means the Mia SoftPhone can connect to any SIP phone. So, for example, if you have either if it's a cloud or if it's an on-premise SIP phone, the Mia SoftPhone can connect to it. It's also possible to set up multiple SIP connection, for example. So if you have different lines or different providers, you can also set up multiple settings here. It's also possible to synchronize the contacts from Outlook or via LDAP. So that's also possible directly in the SoftPhone here as well. You can set up shortcuts for making calls, for accepting calls, for making conferences, and so on. Otherwise, it has all the features you typically have in a SoftPhone, like, for example, okay, mute yourself, change the volume, start a conference, and so on. So those are all the typical settings you have in a SoftPhone, like, for example, also call history. Okay, did you have a call? Did you miss a call? And so on. So this as a quick introduction into the MIA SoftPhone. Now we can switch back to the presentation.
Yes, thank you, Simon. Okay.
Yeah, perfect. So yeah, regarding the update installations, we also offer a premium support option. Here with this premium support option, you have up to 2 installations every year included, as well as priority support and support via web meeting. Also, we mentioned it earlier as well with the SMS installation. It's also possible for us to help you with this installation. It works like this, that you would register with Amazon Pinpoint, and we would do the installation and configuration then together, which takes about 1 to 2 hours. In this case, we have the last poll for today, which is, are you interested in IVR with speech recognition? Yes or no? So a little bit background on IVR here is an automatic a text-based or speech-based decision software, like for example, okay, do you want to talk to sales or support? And then it would forward it to the correct queue. Okay, thank you everyone. In this case, I will pass on to Chewy.
Thank you, everyone. And I'm taking over right now with giving you more insight in what we are cooking right now. We trying our best actually to continuously supply you or bring in new features to the CTI Data Connector to help you better serve your customers. And one of that is like the SMS function, which we have right now, which is functioning optimally, and with which you can ad hoc send out, especially like with a process builder, you can send out more automated SMS to your customers. For example, if you're working, if you are like after a delivery have been sent, you send out an SMS, or a booking have been made, you send out an SMS to your customers. And we are right now building also SMS templates, or giving the possibility of having SMS templates. The templates are actually there, which can then work with variables that you can build in Salesforce, so that they can pick up the customer name and the customer address and automatically put it on the SMS and send it out. And we'll be extending on the live dashboard charts to show, for example, favorites. That means if you are in a setup where you have maybe different countries which you are working with in a company or different branches, and you want just to show that of your colleagues, you want to see just the information of your colleagues doing on the live dashboard, you can choose that. With that, we'll also be building more filter possibilities to further streamline those your charts and your dashboards, so that you then get the information you need as fast as possible to better serve somebody who is calling, which you want to maybe transfer the call to, if you want to transfer a call to a colleague. Then with our next release, we are working already right now on the synchronization of the present state if you are using Teams. That is actually functionality right now. We do have it with, for example, 3CX. This will be extended to any PBX that you are using, where I would say more than 90% of those out there right now, they are probably using Teams as a collaboration platform. We can then automatically synchronize this with Salesforce, or with the present state in Salesforce, to give then your colleagues the possibility of actually knowing where you are, if you are in a call or if you are in a meeting, and so on. And finally, one of a much asked feature which we're working on right now is the auto dialer, or power dialer as it's called, meaning with list views on, or with list on Salesforce, which can then be automatically called depending on settings that we have made with you in Salesforce, giving then the possibility in a contact center setup where you have a long list of contacts that you need to call, and our system automatically call those numbers, giving you including call report time, so that you can then walk through that list to make sure you call all your customers that are needed daily. And our March release will be, as of now, as of our planning right now, end of March. Our spring release will be end of March, and we'll be also having a webinar on that day after we have done the release. And with that, we come to the part where I'm talking about the webinars we have right now. We have one webinar which will be on the 15th of February, which is the CTI integration in Salesforce with Microsoft Teams, where we'll be then introducing 2 solutions, and these solutions will be on the one side the integration with CC for all, and on the other side the integration with 3CX as a telephone system. And the question is actually right now that many people looking for new, let me say, cloud-based telephony systems, and they are using Salesforce, and they really want to have an idea on what telephone system and what features the telephone system can really help to bring into Salesforce to give them a better communication with your customers directly from Salesforce. And in this webinar on the 15th of March, it will be to give you an insight into telephone systems and what you need to consider when you want to transition from your existing telephone system to a new telephone system. And on the 22nd of March, there will be a German webinar, which we are partnering with PMG, a cloud-based telephony system here in Germany. And PMG, I would say, when it comes to complex IVR setups, is the best system in the market right now in Germany. For example, if you have a setup where you have many different types of queues or many different types of setups to really stream down the call to some needed person through an IVR system, PMG is there as as a leader in the market, or even like I would say branding music systems. That means they actually like produce music for you to fit your business needs, to actually give them a branding, a customer identity when your customers are, or a company identity when your customers are calling you. And finally, after our release, which will be end of March, by the 26th of April, we'll be then having a webinar to show you again, like today, all the features which we have released. Going back to what we are actually working on right now, the power dialer will be a beta. So if you are interested to be part of our beta system, you can also like send an email to us at to sales@mirage-system.com or -system.com.
Thank you, Chewy. Then we are in the end of our webinar, and we are beginning with our Q&A session. We already had a lot of different questions. This is really great. Perhaps I start with one in the first. This goes directly to you, Dieter. Does the live agent dashboard support omnichannel functionality?
Okay, yeah, that's a good question. So right now we already have a lot of fields, including the service channel, but we cannot show the number of chats, for example, which are live, or the number of tickets which are handled right now. What we will add in the summer release, in the spring release, are skills. so that when you search for a person with a specific skill like French speaking or support for this product, that you see that in the user list which user has a specific skill. But the actual number of chats or other omni-channel add-ons are not available right now.
Okay, thank you. It was also extended the question. It was also if it's working with chat or a similar tool like that, the live agent dashboard.
Sorry, could you repeat the question?
Okay, it's just an extension to the question about the live agent dashboard. If it's also with some kind of a different chat or a similar tool as the omnichannel.
No, so if we would integrate something, it would be omnichannel exclusively. And right now we can show the service channels which a user is logged in, but yeah, we cannot use omnichannel and display chat. Yeah, so that's not possible. But if it comes in a future release, it will be only based on omnichannel, not on other chat tools.
Okay, many thanks. Yes, then I take the next question. This is for you, Simon. How long does it take to install and configure a new CTI data connector release?
It always depends a little bit. If you have, for example, already the CTI data connector up and running in a current version, or if in a relatively up-to-date version, then usually it takes around an hour, where we also have a little bit of a training as well regarding the new settings, the new functionality, and stuff like this. If you have a really old version, then sometimes it can take a little bit longer, but I don't think there are that many out there anymore of the really old ones.
Thank you. Then the next question would go to Chewy. What support options are available?
Yeah, we do offer for example, even coming back. Normally with your licenses, you already have a support system which is part of it, we offer more support through our premium support or elite support. The premium support is actually one of the support system we then tell or recommend to our customers, because the premium support entails up to three updates per year, and also gives you the possibility of arranging an ad hoc web meeting if you have any issue or if any issue arises.
Thank you. Then we have again a question for Dieter. How easy it is to change the telephone system?
Okay, good. So the really good thing for you is that you can keep this CTI data connector and you do not need to change anything in your Salesforce setup when you want to switch to a new telephone system, because the Salesforce part is always the same. And then let's say you switch from an on-premise system, let's say a Cisco or Alcatel, where you have a server-based integration, you switch to a cloud telephone system, and then we would just exchange the connector technology, and that's no change required in Salesforce. So also your users would exactly work with the same Salesforce integration. It just could be that you have more features available, like a presence state, but everything else would be the same. So it's quite easy to exchange the telephone system and you do not lose the Salesforce integration.
Thank you, Dieter. I think if we take a look to the clock, we are in the end of our webinar time. We have a couple of questions left. We will come back to you via mail and answer them directly, personally. And if you would have any extended questions, please do not hesitate to always directly contact us. And I would say from my part, many thanks for your attendee and your interest to our webinar. I wish everyone a nice evening and would hand over the last words for my colleagues.
Yeah, so thank you staying with us, and also have a look at the upcoming webinars. We will inform you with newsletters you also find on our website in the resource section, always all upcoming webinars and webinar recordings. So if you are interested in webinars we had last year, you can just go to the website and have a look at the recordings. And otherwise, yeah, just watch the newsletters, and then you are informed about the next webinars.
Perfect. Thank you for coming on, and I hope we can actually welcome you, especially those people that are new here. Welcome you for a presentation and demo. You can always contact us at sales at Mirage or Mirage minus or dash systems.com.
Bye-bye.
Bye.